Time now for your morning rush. Two former CYFD employees say that they were fired after raising questions about a messaging app. Last month, CYFD came under fire for the use of Signal. That's an app in which messages among staff disappear. Two former CYFD employees recommended the department stop using Signal. The governor's office tells us that it's a personnel matter and they cannot comment further. The Department of Workforce Solutions is now being sued by New Mexicans who say that they were eligible for federal assistance, but they never got to apply. Alicia Clark with the New Mexico Legal Aid blames the situation on the way that Workforce Solutions rolled out the program. The Department of Workforce Solutions says that it's unable to comment on pending litigation. Some more construction projects are in the works now for Albuquerque this morning. The city says that a number of the permit applications they are seeing are for apartment complexes. Meanwhile, a plan is underway for 6 new commercial buildings near the proposed Orion site on Gibson. Another proposed complex in Mesa del Sol would also have more than 300 units. New Mexico will soon be home to one of the largest cannabis manufacturing and research facilities in the country. The grants-based company Bright Green got DEA approval to produce and distribute the medical marijuana for research purposes. The company could generate 200 research and agricultural jobs. Erica.
Here's a look at our drop-off forecast this morning. Temperatures in the mid-50s for the kiddos, meaning probably a light sweater or light jacket will do. And by this afternoon, it's going to be a hot one.
New Mexico United has laid out its plans for their new stadium, and they're looking at downtown. The team is looking for a 10 to 15,000 seat stadium costing between $50 and $100 million. United CEO Peter Trevisani says that he's looking at what has worked in other cities with new fields like Colorado Springs. The findings of the city's study are expected out this summer. The Wells Fargo Stagecoach balloon will not fly in this year's Balloon Fiesta or anywhere ever again. There's no official word on why that decision was made. We did reach out to Wells Fargo for comment, and they said that they still support the Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta, but they have moved the expenses of maintaining and flying a balloon to fund other areas. A New Mexico softball coach is under investigation by the state after he's accused of forcing players to fight each other. Now, Tylen Wilder, a strength and conditioning coach in Silver City, is accused of forcing players to box at each other. The superintendent says that Wilder was placed on administrative leave. The suspected street racer who crashed into and killed a priest will be facing charges. Now, Father Graham Golden was in a car leaving an abbey in the South Valley on Friday night. Deputies say that his car was broadsided by one of 2 cars that appeared to be racing down Coors. Father Golden was killed. The driver is expected to be charged with vehicular homicide. Erica.
Here's a look at the Metro Threat Index for today. Very low. Temperatures are cool this morning, but the day is going to be very quiet with light winds.
An 11-year-old boy, a New Mexico boy, is dead this morning after falling under a trailer at a dump station on Sunday. The Curry County Sheriff's Office says that a man and 2 boys were getting ready to empty their trailer at the station in Melrose. The trailer was still moving when 11-year-old Camden Stevens tried to jump off of it, but lost his footing and then fell under the tires. He died yesterday at a Lubbock hospital. Santa Fe is loosening up its mask requirements. The new mask ordinance still requires mask wearing among unvaccinated people. Masks are still, of course, required in high-risk places identified by the state and the CDC. Public areas of the city facilities also still require them, but individual businesses will be able to decide whether people need to wear the masks on the premises or not. And there are some new guidelines this morning making it easier to store the Pfizer vaccine and prevent it from going to waste. The federal government says that it's safe to store the vials for up to a month in refrigerators once they're removed from the freezer. Previously, they were known to be effective only up to 5 days after being thawed. The state health officials say that will give greater flexibility to healthcare providers. Erica.
All right, let's get a look at the morning drive. The maps are looking completely clear. No accidents or slowdowns. And here's a look at trackers. Things are starting to pick up, but we won't see that traffic really hitting for another hour or so.
Well, parts of the state are being closed off in order to protect bighorn sheep. The Forest Service is prohibiting domestic sheep and goats in parts of the Santa Fe and Carson National Forests. That's to stop them from spreading diseases to the wild sheep. State and federal agencies have been working to restore the bighorn sheep to the region since they were nearly killed off in the 1960s. In June, the Department of Agriculture will clear loan debts for minority farmers. The $4 billion program is part of the American Rescue Plan. The USDA says that it will initially make debt relief payments for about 13,000 of its loans. From there, the agency said that it will distribute loan relief for another 3,000. That program is currently facing multiple lawsuits. Uber and Lyft are offering some free rides to anyone traveling to get a COVID-19 vaccine shot. The ride-hauling apps, they are giving customers up to $25 off each of their trips to and from the vaccination sites. With some of the vaccines requiring 2 separate shots, that's a maximum of $100 per passenger. The free rides will last through July 4th.
Get news when you want it, where you want it. Download the KRQE News app today.
Welcome back. On this day in 1976, a thunderstorm in Roosevelt and Curry counties packed strong winds, causing damage to buildings and toppling a tree that injured a child. Hail also caused damage to crops, and we'll have another chance for storms later in the week on the east side of the state, but we're looking pretty good today. And time now for the 5 facts. At number 4, after 30 years in the air, the Wells Fargo Stagecoach balloon will not fly in this year's Balloon Fiesta or anywhere ever again. At nearly 1,500 pounds, the balloon is hard to miss. That's also leaving its pilot Ron Sanchez and other pilots without a balloon to fly. There's no official word on why the decision was made. We reached out to Wells Fargo for comment. They said that they still support the Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta, but have moved the expenses of maintaining and flying a balloon program to put funding in other areas.
At number 4, New Mexico United has laid out its plans for their new stadium, and they are looking at downtown Albuquerque. The team is now looking for a 10 to 15,000 seat stadium costing between $50 and $100 million. United CEO Peter Trevisani says that he is now looking at what has worked in some other new cities, with new fields. That includes Colorado Springs. He says it's a good example of how a stadium can revitalize a neighborhood. Well, the findings of the city study are expected out in late June or early July.
And at number 3, we're looking at 50s through the morning commute and then quickly warming up today. We'll make it into the mid-70s by noon, so it's going to be a good day to get out and about early to walk the dog or just go for your morning workout.
And number 2, the Department of Workforce Solutions is being sued by New Mexicans who say that they were eligible for federal assistance, but they never got to apply for it. An attorney with New Mexico Legal Aid says that her clients, they were all unable to work during the pandemic, but they never got the federal unemployment benefits that she says they were entitled to because the department did not allow her clients to apply for those benefits. Meanwhile, the Department of Workforce Solutions says that, or declined an interview, saying that they are unable to comment on pending litigation. And at number 1 this morning, 2 former CYFD employees say that they were fired after raising questions about the agency's use of a private messaging app. Last month, CYFD came under fire for the use of the Signal app. Now, that is an app in which messages among staff disappear. Former CYFD Public Information Officer Cliff Gilmore submitted a letter to the department secretary, Ms. Brian Blaylock, recommending employees stop using Signal. Now, on May the 6th, Gilmore and his wife, who raised the same concerns, they were both fired. The governor's office tells us that exempt employees like Gilmore can be terminated at any time for any reason, and the administration does not comment on personnel matters.